About 5 minutes, you're not here, are you? For goodness sake, commitments, right? Monday, 6th of December, I'm just playing, I'm toying with you, pulling your leg, I've just got in. Hanging out my ass. It's a Monday. Anyway, welcome to the 6th of December, and welcome to Coffee Shop Live, and welcome to me. Desperately trying to pull it all back because that noise is a bit loud, isn't it? Let's see if we can turn that down a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it, whether it's for my benefit or for yours. Welcome to the what must be 71st episode of Coffee Shop Live. I hope you're here for the right reasons and not just to look at me, because there are some strange people out there, and they might feel that was their right, but I'm telling you now, you are here to learn, not to look. So yeah, just remember that. Right, so I'm going to get straight into the screen sharing experience. So many things to talk about. Where do we start? Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. If you haven't seen this before, I strongly recommend you watch it because it is a piece of genius. Let's get that out of the way. It's an absolute piece of genius. I love it to the death and back. It's Kristen Wiig, executive producer. She's the writer, and it's all about two bachelorettes. Let's make it nice here. Who live together. Used to live in a furniture shop which got shut down, and they get handed a leaflet about this incredible holiday resort called Vista Del Mar. Has to be in Florida. Reluctantly jump on a plane, get over there, mishaps ensue. It's a fabulous romp. If you want a bit of good times in your Monday night, get yourself onto most of the streaming platforms. It's not on Netflix, and check it out. It's a funny beyond compare. And Kristen Wiig, she's very well known. She was in Bridesmaids. She's a fabulous comedy writer. She's up there with Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, up with some of the greats. I don't know any of the others, so you're just going to have to lumber yourself with those three. But yeah, I recommend it. If you've watched all of Parks and Recreation, and you've watched all of 30 Rock, two of my other fabulous friends in comedy, then and their series, aren't they? I'd recommend having a look at that. What else? Yeah, computer got spanked yesterday. I've got no idea why. I've been seeing a big frowny face saying something's not working, I'm going to reboot for a while. That's unfortunate. Yesterday came to a crashing crescendo. Nothing happened. Kept switching it on, kept looping the power. I'm not sure what it is. If you're a genius in IT, as I once was, long since left that ground behind, then let me know what it could be. I've brought in a secondary device, which is very slow. No SSD, solid state storage. Oh no, solid storage device. It's not working, so everything is slowing down, hence why you were so late today. Nothing to do with me, obviously. Right, so I'm going to take a little bit of a different tack, and we've got things to cover along the way, and we'll talk about that, but that's not for now. For now is having some pointed lessons and workshops and masterclasses. That's what we're here for. Welcome to Coffee Shop Live, at Dave Thackeray on Twitter, wordandmouth.com on the webs, and Dave at wordandmouth.com if you've got a copy challenge or a celebration, or simply, I was thinking about this over the weekend, I think Copy Shop is a little bit too narrowly focused, because the more and more we do this, the more and more, of course, that we realise, and if you were along for the ride on Friday and we talked about persuasion, it was at that point that I started thinking, what's happening here is much more than just copying content and messaging, and probably much more than marketing. There's a lot of lessons and nuggets here we're learning along the way that relate to being more human, the emotional intelligence, the empathy, the just understanding what makes that other person tick. So I've been thinking long and hard about how to maybe move towards expanding this into the new year to cater to an expanded audience. So yeah, I'll be able to think about that, and I'll be asking you questions along the way for you to pitch in and give me your thoughts and good tidings. And talking about good tidings, obviously with this being Monday the 6th of, can you believe it's 2 weeks on Saturday? What's all that about? You haven't got a tree yet. It's Monday today, and I sometimes feel that a lot of us think that Monday stinks. But do you know what? Showing up is half of the battle. Showing up is halfway on the path to success of a systems-based life. Not goals-based. We don't care about goals. We care about systems. We do care about goals. We care about objectives because they are checkpoints and chapters on our systems journey, but they're not the be-all and end-all. Don't be all the gloss and all the veneer and that. It's not important. The systems, they're building the habits, they're doing something daily. That's what's important. But if we get a squirty bottle of showing up out and we spray that at Monday all of a sudden smells fantastic. Show up. Be the you. Be the best that you can be on a Monday. We know that it's going to be a subdued flavour of you because it's a Monday. But just be there. Just be there is enough. Showing up. 50% of the way there. If you can open your eyes, not like a newborn puppy, so much the better. So what I'm going to do today is, this is a bit different, this. So Protobot at molly.is/experimenting/protobot. Catchy, I'm sure you'll agree. Will give us a concept for a product or a service. And the theory is, what I'm going to do is twist this around a little bit. So I've been looking for the longest time at Amazon products and how we will sell them to a persona, an archetype, someone. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to randomize, find a very wacky out there product or service to sell, and then generate a fictional character and then join the two together. 8:10. Sorry, we've been talking a lot today, but don't forget you weren't here till 8:03. Right, so design a computer mouse that you can operate with your feet. I like this. Whoa, how good is that? Let's run my notepad. There we go, let's pop that in there. Right, great. And let's have a look at who it's going to be sold to. I kind of like this guy. He looks a little bit like Malcolm Gladwell. I say a guy, who knows? Let's refresh. Oh, okay. Whoa, looking a bit like Ben. I've got a friend called Ben who looks not dissimilar to that, runs Electric Circus. You'll know who he is. That's fascinating. Ben, you've been modelling, my friend. And thanks for coming along for the ride, because I know you a little bit now. So we're going to call this guy Ben in honour of Ben. Ben is a company owner, all right? He sort of doubles as a CTO, and also he's like the mesh. He's like the connecting tissue that pulls everybody together. By the way, later on, I'm not going to listen to music. I'm typically listening to country music on a Monday, but I'm not today. I'm catching up with Liza Tarbuck on BBC Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, which pulls together all of the relatively recent archive of podcasts, of recordings of radio shows, and Liza's going to be on my hit list today. So Ben is a company owner, CTO. He's in Manchester, as the locals know it, and he's looking for ways to be more efficient, and he's time strapped. He's a very friendly guy, and he's also very keen to help other people. So his business works in the HR sector as a service provider. And this is great. Thanks for joining us. I'm just flattered, bamboozled by it. So design a computer mouse that you can operate with your feet. So the idea is it keeps your hands free, and it stops you getting RSI. And also, it's a little bit flamboyant. It's a little bit showy-offy. I like that because what? How do you work? Cheers. Copy Shop Live tours up. Did you used to play Hyper Olympics or track and field, bashing the keyboard like you were trying to push it through the desk, but at speed and with some courage? Well, you don't want to get that whole sort of thing, your arms sort of giving way and all that, because it's quite common carpal tunnel syndrome these days, isn't it? So this is a improve your desk health. So we're going to call it, instead of the mouse, we're going to call it the Tausts, because it sounds a little bit like toes, doesn't it? And I suppose when you spell it semantically, it looks like toes. So instead of a mouse for your hand, so outright. So there's two things here. First thing is, how do we describe the toes mouse so that it is appealing, it's convincing to a new audience? And at the same time, how do we describe it for the benefit of the user? Because this is a large gulf that we've got to jump. Most people are already very much familiar with mice, and it's just become part and parcel. It's a craft person's tool. So how do you get a builder to stop using a drill and instead to use a chainsaw? And there's a very interesting story about chainsaws in one of Dave Trott's books. They used to be used to help get babies out, but in a different form, a modified, improved version of a hacksaw. Too much for perhaps a Monday morning, but nonetheless, if you'd like to learn more, check out Dave Trott's books. It's the one with the question mark on, or ask me. I'll be only too happy to help. So, first of all, typically speaking, when a product's been built, and if it's been built by an engineer or it's been built by a committee, it's typically because the product solves a problem that somebody's had. So I'm guessing that your feet are lazy buggers, right? All they do is lean against a rest, like a 10 sharded cowboy. 1 shard for each toe. So get in the game, feet. Okay, so your hands are used for everything. Like pointing, out flapping, making coffee. That's more like the category, isn't it? Gesticulating, but they're used for all sorts of things. Picking your nose, so it seems a shame to commit your hands and by design elbows, arms, and shoulders, plus your torso as well, to a single task. Why not keep them free and free of damage? Fucking RSI, carpal tunnel again, by hiring in your feet to do the drudgery. Introducing Taos toes. I honestly hadn't seen that product before, but now I've done toes. I just feel like either I'm a genius, or I'm just channeling bytes, and we are just part of the same network, me and my PC. So we've got a few ideas here, haven't we? So from a user's point of view, we need a simple to use. There's take our 10-minute toes. Or foot long, because that's like very subways, isn't it? Toes crash course, which shows you how to use this incredible new computer accessory. You'll be on your feet in minutes, celebrating your good fortune, food tune. So this will show you, therefore, how just by how does it work? That's what people want to know. So it's like, okay, well, each toe controls. Is that going to work? No, you would control a different hotkey, maybe. Like instead of having instead of just 2 mouse keys, buttons. Sorry, you now have 10. If you're not very good with your toes, then obviously it doesn't matter. All you need to do is, like, if you sort of you could assign all 5 hotkeys on one foot to the left toes button and all 5 on the right to the right one, and then you've essentially got the same thing as a mouse but for your feet. That's great. And I'm guessing, like, so you've got balls of your feet, yeah. So balls on your feet are like the ball in a conventional mouse. You see, I've got one with like a laser coming out of it, but the old mice, for you youngsters, aka anybody younger than me, aka all of you out there, will remember that you used to have that like quite hard but spongy ball in old mice. So I'm thinking, take one ball and replace it with the balls of your feet. I don't know who came up with this idea, but it's absolute genius. So thank you, Molly.is. I'm not doing that one. I was hoping to press print screen instead of F5, but I'm so used to pressing F5, which is short for refresh, that I refresh the screen. So you're getting some good ideas now. So we've already started thinking, you know, we haven't even delved into the likes of prototypes and personas and archetypes and things. So we've not really started thinking about specifically the people, but we've been looking at it through the lens of Ben. And I'm going to make sure I get that sorted. I've printed that screen, and because I'm so old world, I will pop that into Paint later rather than any other. No, not today. Thanks. Any other image application. But that's good. I'm happy with that. We've covered some ground today. So thank you ever so much. I'm sure you've been joining me. So yeah, the chat is literally full of emptiness, as I expected normally. But you know what? The recording is available ad infinitum, so you can come and figure out what would you do with the foot version of the mouse, the toes. How would you sell it? I don't want to know. I'm just coming up with ideas here and writing around the ideas to give you a gist. But you know just as well as I do. Hobby Shop Live. It's a wrap. See you tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Be there.